Navigating Parenting. The book you wish your parents had read. Introduction. Reflecting on past parenting. Growing up, I always admired my parents. They did their best to raise me with love and care, but as I look back, I realized that there were moments where things could have been handled differently. I remember times when I felt misunderstood or unheard, wishing they had a better understanding of my perspective. Reflecting on my past parenting experiences, I see a mix of beautiful memories and moments that could have been improved. In this section, I delve into the lessons learned from reflecting on my upbringing. Cherished memories. I reminisce about the joyful times spent with my parents, the laughter around the dinner table, and the hugs that made everything better. These memories serve as a reminder of the love that was always present. Challenges faced. Recalling moments of conflict and misunderstanding, I recognize the areas where communication could have been better. I remember feeling frustrated or confused, longing for clearer guidance. Impact on current parenting. Reflecting on my experiences as a child influences my approach to parenting now. I consider the lessons learned from both positive and negative experiences, striving to create a nurturing and understanding environment for my own children. Through reflecting on my past, I aim to navigate the complexities of parenting with compassion and wisdom. Join me on this journey of introspection and growth as we explore the valuable insights gained from looking back on our own parenting experiences. Understanding parenting styles. I grew up in a household where rules were strict and obedience was non-negotiable. Reflecting on my upbringing, I realized that my parents followed an authoritarian parenting style. This style of parenting is characterized by high demands and low responsiveness. As a child, I often felt like my voice didn't matter, and I was expected to follow orders without question. On the other hand, I have friends who were raised in homes where there was a lot of warmth and support. Their parents practiced an authoritative parenting style which combines clear expectations with open communication and nurturing. Witnessing the positive relationship my friends have with their parents, I see the impact that parenting style can have on a child's development. Then there are parents who take on a permissive parenting style, where few demands are placed on the child, and there is a tendency to avoid conflict. I've noticed that children raised in permissive households sometimes struggle with self-discipline and managing their emotions. Finally, there are parents who employ an uninvolved parenting style, showing little interest in their child's life and providing minimal guidance. I've seen how this lack of involvement can leave children feeling neglected and insecure. Understanding these different parenting styles has given me insight into my own upbringing and how it has shaped me as an adult. It has also made me more aware of the kind of parent I aspire to be in the future Awaduru, one who sets clear boundaries while also fostering a supportive and communicative environment for my child to thrive. Communication strategies for positive parenting. I remember a time when my daughter, Emily, was having a difficult time expressing her emotions. It was clear she was upset, but she just couldn't find the words to tell me why. Instead of getting frustrated, I tried a different approach. I sat down next to her, made eye contact, and gently asked, "It seems like something is bothering you. Can you help me understand what you're feeling?" This simple change in communication made all the difference. Emily slowly opened up, and we were able to talk through her feelings together. Effective communication is key when it comes to positive parenting. Here are some strategies that have worked well for me. Active listening. When my son, Adam, comes to me with a problem, I make sure to give him my full attention. I put away my phone, make eye contact, and truly listen to what he has to say. This not only shows him that I care, but also helps him feel valued and understood. Empathy. I have found that showing empathy towards my children's feelings goes a long way. Instead of dismissing their emotions, I try to put myself in their shoes and acknowledge what they are going through. This helps build trust and fosters a closer relationship. Setting boundaries. While it's important to be empathetic, it's also crucial to set boundaries. I communicate clear expectations and consequences to my children, which helps them understand the importance of respect and responsibility. Positive reinforcement. I make a point to praise my children when they exhibit positive behavior. By focusing on the good things they do, I encourage them to continue making good choices. Incorporating these communication strategies into my parenting has helped me create a supportive and loving environment for my children. Remember, communication is a two-way street, and by listening, empathizing, setting boundaries, and reinforcing positive behavior, we can help our children thrive. Setting boundaries and consistency. When my daughter Lily was a toddler, setting boundaries felt like navigating through a maze blindfolded. I remember the endless cycle of negotiations and the not-so-subtle tantrums whenever I tried to enforce a rule. It was exhausting, to say the least. But as I delved into the chapter on setting boundaries and consistency in navigating parenting, a light bulb moment happened. Consistency is key. I realized that one of the crucial aspects of setting boundaries is consistency. It's about following through with consequences every time, even when it's easier to let things slide. Consistency builds trust and helps children understand that rules are not flexible. Clear communication. I also learned the importance of clear communication when setting boundaries. Instead of vague instructions like, "behave yourself," I started using specific guidelines like no hitting or bedtime is at 8 p.m. It made a world of difference in how Lily responded. Consistency builds trust and helps children understand that rules are not flexible. Flexibility within limits. Another lesson I embraced was the idea of flexibility within limits. While rules are essential, it's also crucial to allow room for negotiation within those boundaries. This approach empowered Lily to make choices within the framework of our family rules. Self-care for consistent parenting. The chapter also highlighted the significance of self-care for maintaining consistency in parenting. I realized that taking care of myself was not a luxury, but a necessity to show up as the parent Lily needed. Whether it was taking a short break or seeking support from my partner, prioritizing self-care made a notable difference in my parenting journey. As I continued to implement these strategies, I witnessed a positive shift in our household dynamics. Lily seemed more secure, and our interactions became more harmonious. Setting boundaries and striving for consistency was indeed a game-changer in our parenting adventure. Emotional intelligence and empathy in parenting. I vividly remember a moment when my child, overwhelmed by frustration, burst into tears after a difficult day at school. In that instance, I realized the importance of emotional intelligence and empathy in parenting. It wasn't about fixing the problem or offering immediate solutions. Instead, it was about sitting with my child in their moment of distress, providing a safe space for them to express their emotions freely. Key points to remember: emotional intelligence. As a parent, being emotionally intelligent means recognizing and understanding your child's feelings. It involves being aware of your own emotions and how they can impact your parenting style. Reflective listening. Sometimes all our children need is for us to listen without judgment. Reflective listening involves paraphrasing what your child is saying to show that you understand and empathize with their emotions. Validating feelings. Validating your child's feelings doesn't mean agreeing with them. It means acknowledging their emotions as real and important, even if you may not fully understand them. Modeling empathy. Children learn empathy by observing how their parents respond to their emotions and the emotions of others. By modeling empathy in our interactions, we teach our children how to relate to others with kindness and understanding. I've found that by fostering emotional intelligence and empathy in my parenting approach, I've created a strong foundation for open communication and connection with my child. It's not about being a perfect parent, but rather about being present, compassionate, and willing to learn and grow alongside my child. The importance of self-care for parents. I vividly remember a time when I was feeling overwhelmed by the demands of parenthood. My days were consumed by taking care of my children, managing the household, and juggling work responsibilities. In the midst of this chaotic routine, I realized that I had neglected one crucial aspect of my life: self-care. Why self-care is essential: physical well-being. As a parent, we must prioritize our physical health. Taking the time to exercise, eat well, and get enough rest not only benefits us, but also equips us to better care for our children. Emotional wellness. Parenting can be emotionally draining. Practicing self-care activities such as meditation, journaling, or spending time on hobbies can help us process our emotions and maintain mental well-being. Setting an example. Our children learn from observing us. When they see us valuing self-care, they understand the importance of looking after themselves as they grow older. Implementing self-care practices. Schedule. Me time. Set aside specific time slots in your schedule for self-care activities. Treat this time as non-negotiable, just like any other important commitment. Seek support. Don't hesitate to ask for help from your partner, family members, or friends. Having a support system can make it easier to prioritize self-care. Practice mindfulness. Be present in the moment and fully engage in self-care activities. Whether it's enjoying a cup of tea in peace or going for a walk, focus on savoring the experience. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish, it is a necessity. By prioritizing self-care, you are not only benefiting yourself, but also becoming a better parent for your children. Building resilience in children. I vividly remember the day my child faced a tough situation at school. As a parent, I wanted to shield them from every hardship, but I also knew that building resilience was crucial for their growth. So I turned to the principles outlined in Navigating Parenting. One key concept that resonated with me was encouraging a growth mindset in my child. Instead of focusing solely on their achievements, I started praising their efforts and perseverance. This shift in perspective helped them see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Another valuable lesson I learned was the importance of teaching my child coping skills. Life is full of ups and downs, and I wanted my child to have the tools to navigate through difficult times. I began teaching them simple techniques, such as deep breathing and positive self-talk, to manage their emotions effectively. These skills not only helped them deal with immediate stresses, but also laid a foundation for long-term resilience. Furthermore, Navigating Parenting emphasized the significance of fostering strong relationships with my child. By creating a safe and supportive environment at home, I was able to nurture open communication and trust. This sense of connection enabled my child to confide in me when they faced challenges, knowing that I would be there to support them unconditionally. Overall, by implementing these strategies and embracing the principles of navigating parenting, I witnessed my child develop resilience in the face of adversity. Seeing them overcome obstacles with confidence and adaptability reassured me that I was on the right path as a parent. Ultimately, building resilience in children is not about shielding them from every hardship, but empowering them to navigate life's challenges with strength and courage. Navigating challenges and conflict resolution. When faced with challenges and conflicts in parenting, I often find myself feeling overwhelmed and unsure of the best way to handle the situation. One particular incident comes to mind when my child and I had a disagreement over screen time limits. It quickly escalated into a heated argument, and I could feel my frustration mounting. In moments like these, I remind myself to take a step back and breathe. It is essential to approach the situation with a calm and rational mindset. By regulating my emotions, I can better communicate with my child and work towards a resolution together. As I reflect on this experience, I realize that conflict resolution in parenting requires patience and active listening. I learned the importance of setting boundaries and rules that are communicated clearly and consistently. By establishing these guidelines beforehand, it helps prevent misunderstandings and arguments later on. When conflicts do arise, I try to see things from my child's perspective and understand their point of view. This empathy and understanding go a long way in finding a solution that satisfies both parties. Additionally, I have found that open and honest communication is key in resolving conflicts. Encouraging my child to express their thoughts and feelings helps foster a sense of trust and respect between us. By creating a safe space for dialogue, we can address issues constructively and find common ground. In the end, navigating challenges and conflict resolution in parenting is an ongoing process that requires patience, understanding, and effective communication. By approaching these situations with a positive attitude and a willingness to compromise, I believe we can strengthen the parent-child bond and create a harmonious family dynamic.